You're good.
Whenever you want to. Okay, hi, this is Chris Saxman, Executive Director of Virginia Free, and I'm sitting in the office of Delegate Ware, the gentleman from Powhatan, a former colleague of mine who has the distinct honor of being the most improved Republican delegate this year in our 2017 rankings. He jumped up from number 58 in our rankings in 2016 to number 8 in our 2017 rankings. So Lee, congratulations. We appreciate your performance improvement there. And I think people are saying, well, did he do badly last time? No, he didn't. Lee's always been a very good pro-business delegate, works very hard. Don't know why exactly the ratings were so different, but we thank you for the improvement, which is what our rankings are designed to show.
Chris, I appreciate it. And obviously, Chris, as a colleague in the past, it's a real pleasure to see that kind of thing, and you feel like you've been very supportive, as you say, of business, because that's what makes it tick for all of us, for the people that I serve, for the jobs that come from business for them. It also means, as I've said any number of times, when private enterprise is working well, it helps us in the Commonwealth. We receive the benefit in terms of the inflow of taxes. We're dependent on income tax and sales tax, and when businesses are doing well, we are all doing well.
That's a great way to put that, Lee. You know, one of the things that's often brought to our attention when we do our rankings 1 through 100 in the House and 1 through 40 in the Senate, does that mean that the ones at the bottom are not pro-business? No, that's just that we're trying to create a system of continual improvement from within, and competition works. Competition with our delegates to say, we want you to improve yourselves. So we show the rankings not as a way to wag the finger, but as a way to say relative to each other, here's where you stack up. Let's try to increase from within. And hopefully you've seen that in our rankings. And I've talked to other delegates, and they say, look, I don't want to be this number anymore. How do I get out of this?
Yeah, Chris, I would fully concur. There really has been an upsurge, I'd say, of noting the importance of and the significance of what Virginia Free is doing. I think there's really been a kind of a revival, resurgence of the sense of what you're doing on behalf of the Commonwealth, because you're doing it on behalf of business, and that is noticed all the way around. Just as we look at how Virginia is doing in business rankings from other rankings or agencies that rate us from one way or another, obviously we as delegates are thankful for those of you that are working hard to monitor and to encourage pro-business policies.
Well, thanks, Lee. And as another Delegate Krizek pointed out to us, we don't broadcast what bills we're scoring. We stick to basic principles. And as Delegate Krizek noted, as a result, it made him be more instinctively pro-business, because we can't be there for every vote and every bill and every conversation. We want legislators, elected officials, staff to be instinctively pro-business for the very reasons you stated. We want the Commonwealth to grow. Economic growth means more revenues, and the Commonwealth can be invested in our roads and our schools and our public officials, and that's a good thing.
It is indeed, and you see it particularly. We were just talking with one of our colleagues who represents an area of the Commonwealth that's struggling, that's facing challenges because of the loss of business as businesses change and mature, and so the advantage accrues to all of us when pro-business policies are adopted. It makes the Commonwealth a more attractive place to live, work, and do business.
And I think you would agree it's not really a partisan thing. It's all about growing the economy, producing better paying jobs, better quality of life all throughout the Commonwealth. Is that fair?
I think that's fair to say, and I think certainly the priorities and the way we address things vary from person to person, but there has historically been a pretty strong bipartisan effort on behalf of free enterprise in Virginia, and I think you can see the results in our standings.
One of the I was speaking with a congressman from Wisconsin earlier last year, and he spoke to a group. He spoke of the moral goodness of the free enterprise system, and how it's a good thing to have economic growth. It's a good thing to create jobs and create tax revenue and to expand the dignity of the human in their capacity to work. It's actually a good thing. Mm-hmm. Do you get that sense that that's more of a conversation down here, or is it something we need to engage in? The framing of the issue of being a moral good.
I think that's always an issue or a framework that needs to be we need to remind ourselves of. That's the kind of thing that but generation to generation, we have to continue to say this is the benefit in so many ways of having that commitment and perspective. I was thinking as you were talking of another element of how Virginia has maintained that same kind of conscientiousness, and that is the fact that we are the state that has maintained its AAA bond ranking over the course of many years through
70 years.
70 years.
I think actually maybe 90 years since the 20s.
That sounds right, and we are in a class by ourselves because of that, and it goes from assemblies that were, to your point about being bipartisan, assemblies that were on both sides of the partisan divide, governors on both sides of the partisan divide, and it matters in Virginia.
Yeah, it really does, and I don't want to be too self-deprecating, but most people think when I'm talking, so not about what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is Chris Saxman, Virginia Free. Any last words, Lee?
Chris, thank you for the chance to say a good word and to be part of this organization. Best wishes as you continue to lead a very important organization, pro-business in Virginia.
Thanks, Lee. Appreciate your time. Thanks, everybody.